Beautiful. Good morning and happy Sunday. Welcome to the Shero Coffee Chat, where coffee and conversation meet, and we get to talk about anything we want. Good morning to you. And of course, I'm drinking my Shero Coffee from SheroCoffee.com. My name is Melissa, and I am the founder of the Shero Coffee Club, where our mission is to keep the world caffeinated and women veterans celebrated. I am so glad that you decided to join the Sheba Coffee Chat here with me today. I'm really glad of that. And I hope that your week has been really good. Today is a great day because it's going to be 50 some odd degrees today in here in the Windy City and Chicagoland areas. And quite frankly, I could use that break. I could use that break. It's been pretty cold and I've had to go out. So yeah, I definitely could use that break. So we're gonna get right into it. Of course, we always salute an Army veteran who served in the military. And of course, whenever you buy one bag of our Shiro coffee, $1 goes to putting together online and in-person events for women veterans based upon our four pillars, which is self-care, connection, self-expression, and goal achievement. And today we salute Melissa Garrett. Yes, she she does reside in the great state of Illinois. And Melissa is a U.S. Navy veteran, and she served from 1993 to 2004. And her narrative on the coffee says, "My military experience was life changing. I went to places and did things that my high school peers could only imagine doing. As with anything else, there were good times and bad. Overall, it was a very positive experience. Ultimately, it made me a stronger individual and gave me the tools to achieve my goals with intensity to reach success." So, definitely a goal driven individual. She is a wonderful person. Hey, she stands 10 toes down on anything she gets involved in. So she is on our medium roast coffee. So when you purchase a bag, you may receive US Navy veteran Melissa Garrett. So thank you for your service and thank you for being a Shero ambassador. We are so glad and appreciate that you said yes and are on board with us. What's next? The topic. Yeah, let's get into the topic. Military matters. So I'm going through, today's headlines and things like that. And I always want to focus or keep it concentrated on one thing. And today's headlines, they just kind of took me. And in the military news, the New York Post reported, and this is good news, you guys. Trust in military rebounds among Americans. That's huge. That is huge. And you know why it's huge because if you look over the past 4 years, there has been a decline, especially with when COVID hit. There was a decline in service because I think they lost like 8,400 service members because they refused to take the jab and they transitioned them out of the military. I think they got general under honorable conditions. I think that's what they got when they were released from the military, under honorable conditions. And then when they tried to recall them, I think I read only 43 of the like 8,400 came back to the military. But I'm going to read a little bit of what the New York Post said. Trusted military rebounds among Americans. The 2024 Reagan National Defense Survey indicates a rebound in American confidence in the military, with 51% expressing a great deal of confidence, up from the previous year. Additionally, 79% of those respondents support increased national defense spending, reflecting concerns about global conflicts and the importance of maintaining military readiness. Yes, it is very important to maintain military readiness. I think I read somewhere Assad has been overthrown in Syria. So now we really have to look at that part of the world because we might have to well, you know, President-elect Donald Trump said he didn't want to get involved in Syria, and this happens. I don't know if it changes things or not, but whenever you lose a leader in anything, things become unstable. People leave. Things just happen, and so we're watching closely that region of the world just to see what happens and see our involvement in it. But the good news is we're feeling more confident about our military, and we're I don't know, becoming more patriotic, I think, about our service members. I mean, remember, it was only a few months ago that they were talking about the draft and bringing the draft back. That's because we weren't able to meet our recruitment numbers. So hopefully, this is good news that people will start to look at the military as a viable career, as a way to give back to the country. It's up to you, but I'm glad about that news. I'm glad about that news. And now let's go to another topic. Defense Secretary nominee faces scrutiny. Mm. So Pete Hegseth, that is the President-elect Donald Trump's nominee for Defense Secretary. Well, Keith Hegseth is under examination by lawmakers due to allegations of excessive drinking and sexual assault, as well as his views opposing women in frontline combat roles. These concerns have raised bipartisan questions about his suitability for the position. So, what do you think about Pete Hegseth. Is it I don't know if I'm saying it wrong. I mean, let's ask the question. Uh, Should, the personal conduct and, controversial views of nominees like him, Pete Hegseth, should they impact the eligibility? Should they impact the eligibility for leadership roles in the military? Or should the focus remain on professional qualifications? My personal opinion is, oh yes, oh yes. What you do outside and what you do in your job and serving the military, it matters. Because don't forget, we don't fall under those who serve. They don't fall under the Constitution. They fall under UCMJ. And although Pete Hegseth would not fall under UCMJ, he should be a reflection. So, I mean, he may have to bow out of the nominated position, but we will see. Yeah, excessive drinking and sexual assault, that's heavy. That is super heavy. And then your views on women in the front line. All of that stuff's heavy. And do we want to have a person in that role entering already with all of this scrutiny against him? Of course, you want someone that can hold the position, but we'll see how that pans out on on his position. We'll keep tabs of that to see what happens. And then the last thing, which is good news, right here in my home state of Illinois, Senator urges support for fertility care for the troops. Now, this is out of, I always want to give you the articles and I'll put it down in the comments. I think this is out of one second. I want to say this is out of New York Post as well. New York Post as well. And it reads Senator Tammy Duckworth has called on President elect Donald Trump to support her proposal to provide in vitro fertilization treatment coverage for military personnel. Highlighting Trump's previous claims of being the father of IVF, Duckworth seeks to include this provision in the 2025 National Defense Authorization Act to assist service members facing fertility challenges. As a couple in the military, you already are facing so many challenges. As a young couple in the military, away from your family and things like that, one of the beauties of serving in the military is you're able to, just kind of start your family, and you've got the health care, and you've got all of these things. For those couples who are having trouble with having, with fertility, I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea that couples should be allowed to have in vitro fertilization treatment coverage. As a woman who has never bared a child, I'm really for it. So I think this is one of the great things that Senator Tammy Duckworth has proposed. I don't agree with everything she's proposed, but I think this is a good thing, and it's something we should look into. So those are your three, military matters for the day, and I will put the links of where I got the information from. But again, when it comes to, public confidence, I think that's good. Rebuilding trust in the military. Hey, leadership and accountability. You got to think about how you feel about Pete Hegseth going into this position with those allegations. Remember, nothing has been proven. And then lastly, support for our military families. Hey, I think it's a great idea. Or, do you think that you know, we should spend that defense spending should go elsewhere. I think that's a fabulous idea in growing families because I mean, look at the birth rate of America, and then you decide we need more children in the world. We need more children, and I know everyone doesn't feel like that, but hey, this is my Shero Coffee Chat, coffee and conversation moment. So I'm just expressing myself, and these are strictly my opinions. So tell me what you think. I think it's fine if you disagree, and we can disagree respectfully. We don't have to, finger point or anything like that. It's time for all of that to be over, right? It's time for us to find out where we have our commonalities. But those are your military matters that I wanted to report on today. And I just wanted to pop into your day for this Shero Coffee Chat. I hope your December is going well. It's the holiday season. One of the things you have to remember is, and if you go to sherocoffee.com, let me just show it to you. If you go there, one of our ambassador, Kimberly Spencer, wrote an article this month to discuss just because it's the holiday season and you're expected to have smiles and things like that. Remember, this is not a good time for some of us. Some of us are surviving through the holidays because, maybe something happened, there's a bad memory there that they have not been able to overcome, or whatever the case is. Just remember, it's good to smile. It's good to be cheerful. That's just my personality, period. But also just be mindful that everyone is not happy during the holidays, and we just want to kind of respect that. All right. That is it for today. Just share your thoughts, share your comments, and as always, be brilliant, be you, be blessed. I will see you next Sunday. Have a good one.